Good day, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back to you with some Warpforge, and today we're doing a little bit of a different video. So I haven't done something like this before, but today we're going to be speculating and discussing the possible things that may be coming to the game based on the new Everguild roadmap. Now, the reason why I decided to do this is because there have been a lot of questions and confusion concerning like what is coming, right? And now I'll try to give you my opinion and what I think this all of this might be and the reasons behind it, so that you guys know approximately what you can expect. Now, of course, take it with a grain of salt, because this is just my speculation and nothing more, right? So the first thing that we see here is basically a new reinforcement drop. Now, I think this is the easiest one to actually guess. So this is apparently a reinforcement drop for Imperial Guard, Astra militarum. However, surprisingly, as you can see, I believe that everybody expected the Death Corps of Krieg, but what we see here is actually a Tempestus Scion, so the Stormtroopers. Now, if we look at the art here, and I think this is apparently for sure made from a miniature like they usually have been doing lately, yeah, this is definitely a Tempestus Scion. So if you take a look at their models in game, yeah, that's basically it, right? Which is a little bit surprising because, as we know, Everguild and Games Workshop kind of line up their releases based on the new stuff that gets dropped by Games Workshop, so that's why I was expecting the Death Corps. However, there is a chance that this might be a mix of two things. Maybe we get a couple of Stormtroopers and a couple of Death Corps of Krieg. I think that is less likely, but I'm not too sure yet. But one thing that we can definitely say from here is that the next reinforcement drop is for Astra militarum, and most likely it is going to be Tempestus Scions, and maybe, just maybe, a mix of Tempestus Scions and Death Corps of Krieg. Now, the second part that we have here is the one that probably caused the biggest confusion, but that's due to a couple of reasons, right? So first of all, the art, well, that's, I would say, the less confusing part, but then there is the new content drop, which is completely different from new reinforcement drop, right? So let me first tell you what I think based on the art, which is actually the easier part. This is apparently a Snaganob. So a Snaganob is basically a troop that you would most probably expect from the Snakebites clan, right? And Snakebites are basically these more feral orcs that are known for their, let's say, expertise in breeding different types of squigs. Now, this is really exciting for me because this most probably means that the Squiggoth is a possibility in the near future. I think everybody is excited for this unit who likes orcs, because first of all, Squiggoths are friggin' cool, and if you play Dawn of War, obviously you're gonna love to have them, right? And well, Snakebites are the prime candidate of the orc clan that is actually going to be getting Squiggoth as reinforcements, right? However, again, the name is different, new content drop. Now, most probably, I think that this can mean a couple of things. I guess this will not be your standard reinforcement drop. Maybe this is going to be a reinforcement drop that it doesn't come through a raid, maybe it comes through a new type of event. So if you guys played Horus Heresy Legions, you might know that there were like different types of events there. Sometimes there was the raid boss event where all the players had to, you know, play the draft. And with accumulated draft points, you would unlock certain cards. Maybe that is it. Maybe it's a completely different type of event. But the fact is, we have a Snakebites unit basically here, right? The Snaganob. So it's, I think, apparent that the Snakebites are going to be coming to the game. Now, there were some speculations that maybe this is just a raid boss, but I don't think so. Like, I don't think a Nob would be a raid boss, and it kind of wouldn't make sense to have a Nob as the raid boss. I think that most probably this is just more reinforcements for Snakebites, but the question is, how exactly are they going to come to the game? Well, I wouldn't expect this to be a completely new faction, but maybe this is going to be some special type of reinforcement. Maybe that comes through any special means, or perhaps they are going to bring new sets of rules. Maybe like this is going to be something like a sub-faction, so not like a reinforcement, but a sub-faction, because as you guys remember, most of the original factions are not named like Chaos or Eldar or for example, just the Space Marines. They're like divided, right? Ultramarines, the Goth clan, Saimhan, Sotek dynasty, and so on. And we have already had a confirmation that not everything is going to be a reinforcement, because now already we have 2 different Space Marine chapters, right? Now we also have Dark Angels. So perhaps there is going to be a new separate clan. I'm just not sure, but I would expect that this is most probably going to be a reinforcement rather than a complete army. Now, on the other hand, to the right, we have a new army coming, which is very, very interesting. And of course, you can guess instantly that this is Chaos content, because it's literally the Chaos art from one of their card backs. So yeah, it's definitely a new Chaos army. So Chaos fans, rejoice. Now, what will this army be is a little bit of a question. So let me actually show you a thing from the official Warhammer page. So basically, as you guys know, there's like this content that is coming, just like we have a roadmap for Warpforge. So the things that have already dropped are Emperor's Children, Astra, Militarum, and Aldari. And next we have World Eaters, Death Guard, and Thousand Suns coming. So this brings a huge confusion, because 4 Chaos legions, right? Basically, you got World Eaters, Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children. So it's a very difficult guess to just, you know, say, okay, it's gonna be this. If it was, for example, only Emperor's Children, you could just say, okay, yeah, Emperor's Children are the new thing, so maybe that's what's coming to the game, right? Well, in this case, I would, if I were to make a wild guess, considering that, as I said, Everguild do tend to line up things with Games Workshop releases like Codexes and Space Marine 2 and so on, I would bet that it's either Emperor's Children or the Thousand Suns. Now, Emperor's Children, I think, are more likely because they have recently received new goodies as well as a new model for their Primarch, Fulgrim. So I think, unless the World Eaters, Death Guard, and Thousand Suns get like some very big goodies as well, I think the most likely candidate for the next faction for Chaos is basically Emperor's Children. They also have quite a few named characters that they could have there. You could have Fulgrim, you could have Bile, you could have Lucius, Eidolon. Like there's actually, I'm not sure if Eidolon is currently too active in the 40k setting, but yeah, there's quite a few characters that they could actually have as warlords. But on top of that, I think the Thousand Suns are also possible, not only because they're receiving new things, but because Space Marine 2, right? In the Space Marine 2, spoiler, but I don't think it's already a spoiler for everybody because the game has been out for a long time, the Thousand Suns are the main antagonists, right? So that could mean that, considering we received 2 reinforcements from Ultramarines from the Space Marine 2, perhaps the Thousand Suns are the next thing. I personally would be happier if we got the Thousand Suns and not the Emperor's Children, because that's my favorite Traitor Legion, but I would say the most possible candidates are Emperor's Children and the Thousand Suns. But yet, of course, there is always like something different that can be expected, because the Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, they receive Death Corps of Krieg Codex and stuff, but well, we are getting Tempestus Scions, right? So you never know. You never know. It might have a twist, and it might be something completely different. But for now, that is my speculation. The only thing that I would really not like for the snake bites that I said is if this is just a new warlord, just like we only got Titus for Ultramarines. I mean, it's cool and all, obviously, but I would love to see a Squiggoth come together with this, maybe some riders as well. So some units that basically are going to make orcs a little more flavorful rather than just a new warlord, right? But in any case, yeah, that's my speculation, guys. So if you were very confused, maybe this gives you a little more idea on what you're supposed to expect. So leave a comment and tell me what you think. Ecclesiarch out.